All right, y'all, I'm back for video three. It has been a pretty um, impactful morning. God is just really using me. And originally, I thought He wanted me to teach on Luke 17 about forgiveness and faith, but I felt led to teach about the rich fool. And so it's just very important, y'all, that we are obedient and we teach on what the Lord is leading us to teach on and doing what He wants us to do. So here I am. So we're going to be starting at Luke 12, verse 13. Then someone called from the crowd, "Teacher, please tell my brother to divide our father's estate with me." Jesus replied, "Friend, who made me a judge over you to decide such things as that?" Then he said, "Beware, guard against every kind of greed. Life is not measured by how much you own." Then he told them a story. A rich man had a fertile farm that produced fine crops. He said to himself, "What should I do? I don't have room for all my crops." Then he said, "I know. I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones. Then I'll have room enough to store all my wheat and other goods. And I'll sit back and say to myself, 'My friend, you have enough stored away for years to come. Now take it easy, eat, drink, and be merry.' But God said to him, 'You fool. You will die this very night. Then who will get everything you worked for?' Yes, a person is a fool to store up earthly wealth, but not have a rich relationship with God." We really don't understand how life is but a vapor. We make a lot of plans. We prepare for um, so many different things, but you just don't know when your time is up. You don't know when it's going to be your last day and you end up dying. And you hear of so many people saying, "Oh, I'll give my life to God on my deathbed. I'll change eventually. I'm still young. I have time." And reading about this rich fool, you know, it says he had a fertile farm that produced fine crops. So he had everything that he needed. He had everything that he wanted, so much so that he said to himself, "What should I do? I don't have room. I don't have enough room for all these crops. What should I do?" And so he's sitting there and he's pondering because he has more than enough. Then he said, "I know. I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones." So he wanted to expand. He wanted to build more to make room for all that he had. He wasn't thinking about the excess going to the poor. He wasn't thinking about the excess going to those in need. He was thinking to himself, "No, I need to make room for all of this because I have more than enough to where now it's overflowing." Okay. And then he said he'll make bigger, he's going to make a bigger barn. Okay. He said, "Then I'll have enough room to store all my wheat and other goods. And I'll sit back and say to myself, 'My friend, you have enough stored away for years to come.'" So he's happy, he's excited, and he's saying to himself, "Friend, you are good to go. Now take it easy. Eat, drink, and be merry." So live it up. Live it up. And I was watching the Met Gala, just snippets, and I'm seeing all these celebrities, and they're um uh, the clothing, some of them are just wearing I think one woman had on, I think, a $12 million necklace. And she was a billionaire. I forgot where she was from, but she was a billionaire. And she's just posing like, "Yes, I'm wealthy. Yes, I'm loaded in dough, and I have everything," and just giving off that vibe. And what's standing out to me is you fool. You fool. Not saying she's one or anything of that nature, but it's foolish to store up your treasure here on earth and not store up your treasure in heaven. It's foolish to be full of greed, where you want to keep everything for yourself. God has allowed you to have so much, but you give nothing back to others. You're not pouring out into the communities. You're not giving to the poor. It's foolish to be that selfish, that arrogant, that haughty, that prideful. And then on top of that, you don't have a rich relationship with God. You don't even know him, and he doesn't know you. And in this story, he ended up dying that very night. And now everything that he owned, everything that he's been storing, everything that he had planned for, right, it's not even going to happen because he is no more. And so he says, then who will get everything you worked for? You worked for all this. You stored up for all this. You planned for all this, right? This was your vision. This was your dream, but it didn't include God. It was your treasures that you stored up here on earth. And he says, yes, a person is a fool to store up earthly wealth, but not have a rich relationship with God. And many people that attended that Met Gala does not have a relationship with God. They do not believe on Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. So do not allow the cares of this world, greed, to overtake you. Humility matters to God. So I pray that this video reaches who it's meant to reach. Don't get caught up in the cares of this world. Don't store up your treasures here on earth. And don't get caught up in the Met Gala and all these celebrities and how they're living their lives and how much money they have. Okay? Don't let the imagery fool you. You don't know what they're battling in secret, what they're dealing with behind closed doors. And many of them, if they don't have Christ. So God bless you all, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.